time in the mirror, forget to just brush his teeth. I'm telling you, too many hits to the head, you're gonna forget stuff.
Chat, now we know. Now we know what's wrong with our wrist.
Riz, for the people who don't know, it's like swag. And yeah, I have to agree. If you have bad breath, it will ruin your Riz and or swag. It just feels like he's always getting rejected.
You wanna go up to my room?
Like they either get grossed out once he opens his mouth.
You're a baby. So technically, chat, he's like basically a black chick. If I fuck her, is that my black belt?
It just seems like a lot of times when he talks to women, when he opens his mouth, they're grossed out by his breath or the words that are coming out. If he can even, when he opens,
She's like basically a black chick. If I fuck her, is that my black belt?
it just seems like a lot of times when he talks to women, when he opens his mouth, they're grossed out by his breath or the words that are coming out. If he can even talk to them, usually they just walk away.
I love those tattoos. These tattoos.
And then this chick just quickly skedaddles away, and then he kind of just sits there all hunched over, not great posture, and complains about being in the highest percentile on, I don't know, TikTok or whatever looks maxer site that he's on, but he still can't an average chick, or in his words, an NPC.
So I'm literally a top 0.0000001% SMB. And I literally can't get an MPP to give me the time of day. Like, it's fucking over, bro. It's literally fucking over.
To be fair, he doesn't really do this for the girls. He does all of this for the bros, especially the chat. If his chat doesn't like the girl he brought home for the day, he'll send her on home.
My stream really doesn't like you.
Okay, I'm just gonna come in here one more time. I just had to ask. Is that the boomafoo on his couch? You know what? Never mind. Go ahead, Clavicle.
My stream really doesn't like you, I guess. I was gonna say I could just, go quick, send you on your way.
Look at the way he's sitting. First of all, the size of his calves. I am not body positive. I will shame these type of men.
Caesar legs, Minecraft skeleton legs. Guys, I don't think I've seen legs in a year.
Well, brother, time to slap some of those chicken cutlet bras on your calves, man. But just the stature, the way he's sitting, his calves are noodles, he has bad breath, he stuffs his shoes with socks. Excuse you, the way that I would flick this man straight out the window and watch as he descends. You know what they say, every time an alpha male or looks maxer descends, a female ascends. Anyway, he does it for the
Qué
bros,
bueno.
and he also talks about his very
Qué bueno.
lacking social skills.
Yeah, because my social skills are quite dog shit. So sometimes it's just like I kind of need to unfortunately drug match to be able to fit into like the neurotypical world, I would say.
In drug max, he would. In fact, he would max out on drugs so hard that he would pass out recently on stream. I'm not going to include the video because I feel like I'm already pushing it, showing men smash hammers on their face. Many people were saying he's done. That's it. It's over. But you know what? This isn't the thing that ended him. No. Second, a little bit of too much drugs couldn't put this man down. But don't worry, within 24 hours after he OD'd, he was out of the hospital and back in the club, lip syncing, dog in hand. As you can see, it's not all fun and games when it comes to looks maxing. As you can see, there are a lot of risks, especially because a lot of these men want to ascend as fast as possible. And we know when we're not in the manosphere that just because something comes quick doesn't mean it was good, right, ladies?
Why would I work out as a natural, take years to make the progress that I can make in months? I'm taking testosterone every single day, and what I did was I took something called an aromatase inhibitor.
And as you can guess, doing a lot of these looks maxing methods can cause some everlasting issues physically.
They cause problems for brain development.
Probably one of the reasons why he was slurring his words a lot.
They cause problems for bone growth.
Well, they cancel that one out with the hammers. Ugh.
They cause a ton of cardiovascular downstream effects.
What does that mean? These guys don't do cardio. They don't even lift weights on their legs. They're barely doing shoulders. Their shoulder day is slapping a boob cutlet on their lateral deltoid and then turning on their camera and asking their stream, hey, is this girl pretty enough for me? If she's not, throw her out like a man. Mr. Clavicle's health is always being talked about. People think that he is actually like his whole face, all of the stuff that he's doing to his face, that his whole body is just deteriorating. Truly, you're deteriorating. People are coming to this conclusion probably because his body drastically changes, as he said that he uses well, a certain type of drug that rhymes with Bristol Beth to get lean.
Not good. Well, looks like a girl. Okay, relax. I'm lean. That's all that matters.
I see this guy trending all the time. A lot of girls love to make fun of him. I do like that. I think both genders like to make fun of this guy. Outside of the manosphere, it's weird, right? So the normal people watching, I like to think that we're generally normal here in my universe. If I walked outside and saw someone smashing their head with a hammer, I'd probably walk back inside. But in this universe, it's totally normal. But I did see it kind of shift when he got hospitalized, well, within those 24 hours. Many people started feeling really sorry for him because he is quite young, and getting into social media and being this so high on the totem pole, especially in the manosphere, can be a lot. Let's be real. His brain is still developing. He's 20. He's young and dumb, and even dumber because he's in the manosphere. So many people were saying, I hope he finds, happiness. I hope he really gets himself together, because this cannot be a way to live. To be so into your looks every single moment to the point that you'll smash yourself with a hammer and inject yourself and your penis with anything. And I completely understand that. Yeah, it's sad for someone to be so into their looks, but I also don't think he's that great of a person. This guy's been arrested multiple times. Drug possession, we kind of figured that. Fake IDs, and multiple reports that he's a little violent. There's a allegations he shot an alligator on his live stream, which means he was super proud of it. So I do have to ask, what the hell does an alligator have to do with looks maxing? I thought you were trying to teach the young boys how to ascend. Anyway, he is extremely insecure and socially awkward, and he knows this. So tell me why this boy who smashes his head with hammers decided to get interviewed on 60 Minutes Australia by someone who doesn't smash his head with hammers.
You could mog someone. You could height mog them. You could be taller. So it typically means like outshining someone in some regard.
Are you mugging me right now?
Well, in what metric?
Any?
Status mogging.
What
He's just so awkward.
do you mean by that?
I mean, like I might be status mogging you, maybe.
You don't know? This is your terminology. I thought he would be a little bit more educated on his own course that he charged up to $3,000 for. Anyway, the funniest part of the interview was when the interviewer said, you aligned yourself with that incel community like Andrew Tate and all the other losers that I can't remember their names right now.
Was born out of the incel community and movement. Do you identify with that group?
He just sits there and looks awkward. He doesn't know how to answer a really basic question. And so the interviewer has to keep asking, like in different ways, until it kind of clicks in his head.
How do you feel about being linked to that group of people?
Nothing going on in there, huh? I don't mean to be extremely rude in this time where he's gonna be really embarrassed a lot, but does his chin look a little soft there? Like, I thought you were supposed to have like a completely chiseled jawline at every single moment. Anyway, he tries to deflect the question.
Do I identify as an incel? I mean, how could you ask me that question?
Anyway, he's really upset about this specific question for some reason. I'm not too sure. He had a girl on his screen and said, "Let's talk about this girl. Should I like kick her out? I'll kick her first, but I'll kick her out because that's the only reason why she's here." And then he's gonna get mad if a reporter asks him if he identifies as an incel. Anyway, he continues to get mad, but in the most monotoned, boring way possible.
That's quite literally the worst sequence of questions I think I've ever heard.
Well, let me rephrase it then.
That was like the fourth time he had to rephrase it, but that's okay. Sometimes we're a little slower with things. I remember my math teacher had to rephrase things when it came to equations multiple times. It doesn't matter if this is something that he's been doing for years and that people have been aligning him with the incel community for years. This reporter was here to get the answer. He wasn't going to let it go.
Looks maxing was obviously a term created by the incel community. How do you feel about being linked to that group?
I'm not linked to that group in any way.
Come on. Classical goes on and says looks maxing has nothing to do with that community at all. It's the complete opposite. In fact,
Potentially even ascending out of that category. So that would be kind of one of the goals.
so he goes on and says, like, this is the complete opposite. And he tries to explain it. But, when you hit yourself too many times in the head with a hammer, it's a little hard to explain things. And the whole time, the interviewer is kind of looking at him like, you're stupid, huh?
disassociate from being an incel and overcome that. So does it make sense?
Yeah, that face right there is pretty much the face the reporter did the whole time. And I have to say, Mr. Tropical think he outmobbed you. And I think this guy's like in his 40s. I don't even think he was trying to outmob you. He just did naturally. I think he ascended above every single looks master, and he didn't even have to punch himself in the face with his fist, or a hammer, or a massage gun. Also, he got a lot of points because he can speak.
You've obviously shared company with Andrew Tate and other, dare I say, rather controversial figures.
And once the reporter brought up Andrew Tate, Mr. Probable was not too happy about that.
Spend time with people like that.
Are you gonna? I see you want to make this political.
Political or not, if someone asked me if I align myself with these certain people who have said some horrible things, I would straight up easily be able to answer. But you can tell that this fool can't do that because if he speaks against Andrew Tate, all the greats, his little 20-year-old behind's gonna get thrown out of the community. No more karaoke boy night, no more helping them fill their shoes with socks or their collar, no more tutorials on how to hide your feet in your own house. Nope, he'd be gone because this community is full of incel. By the way, I might censor out the word incel because I talked about it a lot in another video and it said that it's a word that I can't say. Anyway, he gets really upset by this question. He never answers.
Not at all. Not at all. I'm just curious.
Oh, that's what you want to do.
No,
You
not at all. Not at all. Not at all. I'm not.
You want to end it and talk about.
I'm just curious.
And when the interviewer kept asking him, can you just answer the question? Because I'm very interested on why you align yourself with these types of men. Instead of answering the question, he deflects with a comment that I see in these Manosphere comment section all the time.
Too bad I didn't have time to look into anything about potentially who your wife cheated with.
A mate is one of the biggest goals for these dudes. Of course, you want to cheat on her and everything, but the biggest downfall of the guy is if a woman cheats on him. The funny thing about this, though, is that Mr. Clavicular didn't do his homework when it comes to this interviewer.
I'm not married. But I was simply only asking.
Maybe you gotta
dealing
work
with these people.
Not even married, but they do this all the time. They either insult you for being single, or they'll say your wife cheated on you. Anyway, when that didn't work, he runs away like a man.
Maybe you could switch that up. But thanks for the time. Appreciate the interview. All right.
And it's so funny because it's just so quiet. They don't have any background music. They don't do sound effects. It's just straight interviews. And so he has to watch the game. And he has to get his microphone unmiked while the interview just sits there and mobs him up, baby.
Chiquito. Qué lindo como cuando le hablan cada para Chiquito. Está bien.
Keeps on saying. Anyway, that is looks maxing. I'm the leader of it all. So I will ask you again. Will you take the blue pill, the red pill, or this hammer? What?